All right, so July smacked me in the face. Not literally, but financially. The month wrapped up, and here's the math. I had to buy cars at the most expensive prices I've seen in years, and then sell them at cheaper prices than last year. Translation, every single car we sold, we lost on average $300 to $400 in profit. And then when you multiply that by 115 cars, that's 40,250. Are you kidding me? Kind of month. But here's the thing. My team didn't crumble. They stayed sharp, they hustled, they stayed awake, which is exactly what Jesus talks about in Mark 13:32 through 37. So here's the big idea. Jesus says, stay awake, not once, not twice, but 3 times in just 5 verses. Why? Because he knows we think we need more information, when what we really need is more awareness, urgency, and focus. Jesus isn't giving us a countdown clock for his return. He's giving us a posture to live by. Be ready. Not someday, not when life slows down, now. So here's the gospel at work. Here's the beauty. Jesus isn't calling us to stay awake by panicking, by obsessing, or white-knuckling our way through life. He's saying, I've done the heavy lifting. I've conquered death. I've made you mine. Now live like it matters. The gospel isn't just Jesus saves you from eternity. It's Jesus saves you for today. It's the reason you can wake up, live with urgency, and still rest in his grace at the same time. Now, the fallen condition of humanity. Here is the ugly truth. Left to ourselves, we drift. We get seduced by comfort, busyness, and pride. We hit the snooze button on our spiritual life. We coast. We buy into the world's lies that money, power, and status will fill that ache in our soul. Spoiler alert, it never does, and it never will. Okay, the Christ connection. That's why Jesus repeats himself like a mom yelling up the stairs, stay awake, stay awake, stay awake. Actually, I don't know any mom who says that. Most of the time they're like, fall asleep, fall asleep, fall asleep. Because Jesus knows we can't do it alone. So he doesn't just bark orders. He gives us the Spirit. The Holy Spirit is like the ultimate alert system. He wakes us up when we're drifting, convicts us when we're numb, and pushes us to keep watch. Not out of fear, but out of faithful expectation. So some application, how to stay awake without chugging 3 Red Bulls. Here are 5 ways to actually live this out. The first is tend to your soul. Wake up. Don't just zombie walk from task to task. Step into each day with purpose. Second is choose holiness over habit. Open the Word, not just your email or your text messages. 3, let the Word sharpen you and the Spirit soften you. Cut compromises, even the small ones. And then live like today matters, because it does. And lastly, live like tomorrow might be your last, because one day it will. Jesus is stirring urgency, because when he returns, you won't be able to hit the snooze button. And let me tell you, I'd rather have him find me working, watching, and ready like my team last month than checked out and coasting. So this is the call to action. What's seducing you into spiritual sleep? Comfort, busyness, or pride? Be bold enough to share it with one person today. And then, because staying awake isn't about fear, okay, it's about being ready for the one who loves you enough to tell you the truth. I hope that helps. Go be awesome. If this provided any value, please follow or subscribe. Go be awesome.